Gentleman from California withdraws a point of order who seeks recognition. Gentleman from California is recognized.
Mr. Chairman, much as I don't like certain parts of the Mazur's decision, it clearly applies in this case, and the committee is required to engage with the White House in order to seek an accommodation over materials held by a private party, as they were in the Mazur's case, and seek to resolve this with the White House. So I would ask unanimous consent that we enter into the record your correspondence to the White House.
Objection.
Seeking to engage them to resolve this. And I thank the chairman for not objecting. Can you produce that correspondence to the White House asking for accommodation on these materials you've sought by this subpoena?
Hey, Patriots. Welcome back. Today we're exposing Adam Schiff trying to obstruct a legitimate congressional investigation with procedural games while Chairman Jim Jordan refuses to back down. This is everything you need to know. Let's go. Here's what happened. Jim Jordan's committee issued a subpoena to a private individual who allegedly tried to destroy evidence. That's a crime, folks. But instead of talking about that, Adam Schiff, the same guy who lied for years about Russian collusion, is attacking Jordan over procedure. Schiff claims Jordan didn't properly accommodate the White House before pursuing contempt charges.
First time they reached out to us was 2 days ago.
Yes, and of course the author expressed the concern that these materials may implicate interests of the executive. I think that was weeks ago. But having admitted without dissent your correspondence to the White House, can you produce that for us where you have sought an accommodation, where you've sought to work this out with the White House? Can you share that with us since that is now part of the record?
Well, I thought you had it. You wanted to enter into the record.
I do. I presume that, knowing your responsibilities, you have sought to engage the White House. So,
Mr. Chairman, point of order.
Produce the
recognized for point of order.
I think a unanimous consent request to submit something to the record is where the person who's asking for the floor is the proponent of submitting information that member has. I don't believe it's appropriate to ask a unanimous consent request to engage in a colloquy over discovering information or obtaining information from another member of the committee.
Great, and that's why I said that no objection to the unanimous consent request. If the gentleman from California wants to talk about that and present it to us, God bless him. He's allowed to do it to his 5 minutes.
I would like clarification from the chairman. Does this mean that there is no correspondence from you to the White House seeking accommodation on this material?
We've had all kinds of correspondence with the White House on this broad subject relative to the Zwanitzer and the letter we got 2 days ago. We've not corresponded with the White House yet.
And
we will, we may. That's a decision we'll make.
And you have not corresponded with the White House seeking accommodation ever since the author who you are subpoenaing and seeking to hold in contempt articulated the view that there was executive interest and potential privilege over this material. You haven't sought to engage over the weeks since you received that communication?
We have not engaged with the White House since the letter on the 25th of this month, 2 days ago.
And prior to that time, did you engage the White House in an effort to obtain these materials?
All kinds of engagements with our counsel and counsel.
I'm talking about
the Justice Department and White House with our counsel over the last several months relative to the special counsel
this subpoena, Mr. Chairman. Did you engage with the White House at any time in the last several weeks since issuing this subpoena, the one you want to hold this witness in contempt for? Did you ever engage with the White House in an effort to accommodate, an effort to reach an agreement, an effort to prevent this from having to be litigated? Did you ever write any correspondence, make any call to the White House seeking to engage, seeking to get these materials that you're seeking from the author instead from the White House? Did you ever do that, Mr. Chairman?
We're seeking documents from a private individual who I might add tried to destroy the evidence.
I guess the question is, I guess the answer is no.
Since 2 days ago.
The answer is no.
The answer is since 2 days ago, I'm not
asking the question about since 2 days ago, although nothing prevented
That's when they first raised the concern.
Nothing prevented you from writing a letter within the last 2 days or reaching out to the White House before this.
Now you want me to be clairvoyant and read the White House's mind and write a letter before they tell us something?
Nothing prevented you from seeking these materials from the White House.
California is known
for months, Mr. Chairman. For months.
I'm not a mind reader.
And I thank you for making a very clean record for any court that will look at this.
The gentleman from North Carolina said
an accommodation
months ago the White House could have raised the concern, and they didn't.
To obtain these documents. because your first move, of course, is to go right to contempt. Ironically, of course, for a chairman who was in contempt of his own subpoena.
Point of order, Mr.
We're still
Chairman.
waiting for you to testify and meet the obligations of your own subpoena, Mr. Chairman. But nevertheless, I appreciate you're making such a clean record for any court in this case that you have never sought an accommodation, never written to the White House, never called the White House, never had a communication with the White House in order to obtain these materials as part of an accommodation. Thank you for that very clean record for the court, and I yield back.
Gentleman yields back. Who seeks recognition?
This is classic Schiff. When he can't defend the substance, he attacks the process. When he can't dispute the facts, he creates smokescreens. Schiff demands Jordan negotiate with the White House first, citing the Mazars case. Sounds reasonable, right? Wrong. The accommodation process is a delay tactic. Republican investigations get slow-walked for months. Claims of privilege get thrown everywhere. By the time you jump through all the hoops, nobody cares anymore. That's exactly what Schiff wants: delay, distract, and let evidence disappear. Jordan reveals the White House only raised concerns 2 days ago. 2 days. They had months but waited until the last minute. And now Schiff wants to use their delay to stop the investigation? Jordan's response is perfect. We're seeking documents from a private individual who destroyed evidence. This isn't about White House records. Let's talk about hypocrisy. When Schiff ran the January 6th committee, did he worry about accommodation? Did he spend weeks negotiating when subpoenaing Republicans? No. He bulldozed ahead, leaked to the media, and destroyed reputations. But now, suddenly, when it threatens Democrats, he's concerned about procedure. This is the same guy who lied about Russian collusion for years. Read a fabricated transcript into the record. Leaked classified information. And he's lecturing Jordan about following rules? The audacity is stunning. Schiff keeps saying Jordan is making a clean record for any court. That's a threat. He plans to sue and thinks he found a technicality. But here's what he's admitting. He has no defense on substance. He can't argue the documents shouldn't be produced. He can't defend destroying evidence. All he has is a procedural argument about timing. Meanwhile, Jordan did exactly what he should do: enforce a legitimate subpoena against someone who allegedly destroyed evidence. The White House could have raised concerns months ago but didn't. This is about whether Congress can conduct real oversight or whether Democrats can obstruct every investigation that threatens their allies. This is why we need Jim Jordan. He could have folded and spent months writing pointless letters. That's what establishment Republicans do. But Jordan knows that path leads nowhere. If you let the swamp dictate oversight terms, you never get real accountability. So he stands firm. He enforces the subpoena. He does his constitutional duty and takes all the heat for it. We need more fighters like Jordan who refuse to play the swamp's games. We need fewer obstructionists like Schiff who weaponize procedure to protect corruption. Patriots, this is the battle. Jim Jordan fighting for accountability versus Adam Schiff protecting the regime with procedural games. Share this video, support Jim Jordan, and remember who Schiff really is the next time he pretends to care about rules. Smash that like button, drop yes in the comments if you stand with Jordan, and never stop demanding accountability. God bless Jim Jordan and God bless America. Stay strong, Patriots.